What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can get your hands on 18 raid chests. There are 6 chests that you can get each week per class. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how you can get all of them entirely free. So if you're not able to get fire teams together, then this is your opportunity to get your hands on at least some raid loot each and every week. Now to help you guys out, I've added timestamps to all the raids down in the video description below. So whether that be Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, or Deepstone Crypt, there are 2 chests in each raid that you can get entirely solo. So if you want to save yourself some time, be sure to check the timestamps down in the video description below. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you're brand new here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now, as things stand inside Destiny 2, we have 3 raids. We have the Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, which we can see here, but also the Deepstone Crypt. And in each of those raids, there are 2 chests, which are hidden, that you can get by not completing any of the raid whatsoever. But please bear in mind for the Garden of Salvation and the Deepstone Crypt, you will need to complete encounters inside the raid first in order to get loot added to your loot pool. If you haven't completed any encounters inside either of those raids, then these chests will only drop raid mods or Spoils of Conquest if you're in the Deepstone Crypt. Now as we work our way through each and every chest, I'm running entirely on my Titan. I've added footage of a Warlock and Hunter where applicable in order to show that it can be completed on other classes too. Now all the main footage that you see in this video was recorded yesterday in order to show that these are all still applicable. There's been comments on previous videos that I've made in the past that these have now been patched, and as you can see here, this is simply no longer the case. Now if you are on a Titan, as you'll see here, you don't even need a sword for any of the Garden Salvation chests. In fact, it's probably better that you don't use a sword in order to make sure you have more ammo in the Salvation's Grip, which will be needed in order to get your hands on the second chest inside this raid. Now once you've made it past the barrier, either with a sword or if you're a Titan, you can use the new shoulder charge on the Stasis subclass. Failing that though, you can use your Stasis super also on a Titan in order to break through the barrier too. Now that was the trickiest section of the first chest. From here you just need to follow the route that I take in order to get your hands on some Garden of Salvation loot. I'll leave the footage running out from here and I'll catch up with you at the second chest. So here we are roughly halfway now to the second chest, and in order to get past this section, we need to scale this huge wall. So in order to do that, you'll need the Salvation's Grip. If you were on a Titan and haven't equipped a sword up until now, you'll have more ammo than either a Warlock or a Hunter. If you are a Warlock or a Hunter and you've switched out from a sword to a Salvation's Grip, you'll have roughly 8 rounds if you have 2 reserved mods equipped. With that being said though, that should still be enough ammo for those 2 classes to scale this wall. You'll need to plan placements accordingly, making sure you're maximizing your jumps each and every time. I'm running 100 mobility on my Titan to make sure I'm getting enough height. I highly recommend that you do the same where possible. And what you'll find as you scale this wall, there is a turn back barrier on the right side of this wall. So you want to alternate between going left and right as you gradually scale this wall. Now, as well as using Salvation's Grip, I highly recommend using a Stasis subclass. This will give you a Stasis grenade that you can use. So if you do end up running really low on ammo, at least you have an extra grenade handy, which you can use to create an additional platform should you need it. And once you've successfully scaled the wall, make sure to stand still for roughly 30 seconds or so in this safe zone. This creates a checkpoint for you, so if you're not able to get through the turnback barrier that we've now got to pass through, you will still at least respawn at the top of this wall. Now, in order to effectively get through the turnback barrier, make sure to get enough height as possible. The turnback barrier is just above the area that we're on, so by getting as much height and distance, we're minimizing the amount of time we spend inside this turnback zone. Now, admittedly, this part is very tricky, so it may take a few attempts, but you have a checkpoint at least at the top of the wall. But once you make it past the turnback barrier, it's now a free run to the second chest. If you're not too sure exactly where it is or the quickest way to get there, be sure to follow the route that I take on screen and I'll take you straight there. With that all being said, I'm going to let the footage for Garden of Salvation play out from here. I'll jump back in on the last wish raid, where again we have 2 chests to find. Until then though, I'll catch you again later in the video. Now here we are in the last wish raid, the original raid from Forsaken. Now in order to get these 2 chests inside this raid, we need to use the wishing wall in order to teleport to various encounters, and these encounters are Shiro-Chi and Morgoth. Now to kick us off, we're going to start off with Shiro-Chi. If you're not too sure exactly though where the wall of wishes is though, then be sure to follow the route that I'm taking right now on screen, and this takes you right there. Now important things to note whenever using the wall of wishes is do not use any weapons that have ricochet rounds, explosive rounds or timed payload, as these can all affect the symbols around the ones that you're shooting. The best weapons to use though I find are pulse rifles and auto rifles, as these have large magazines and deep ammo reserves. And once you've made it through to the wall of wishes, you'll need to enter the symbols that you see here on screen. I'll leave them up for a few moments, so feel free to pause the video should you need to, but you need to enter them exactly as you see them here in order to skip to the Shiro-Chi encounter. Now you'll know if you've entered them all correctly, as it will wipe you and teleport you to the relevant encounter. Now we're here at Shiro-Chi, we now have the simple task of navigating back towards Callie in order to collect the first last wish chest. If you're not too sure exactly where it is or the route to take, be sure to follow the route that I'm taking right now on my Titan on screen. I've also added the footage of a hunter as well, just to show that it can be completed on multiple classes. As before, I'm going to let the footage run out of the route that I'm taking right now, and I'll see you back at the wall of wishes. And once you've successfully grabbed the loot from Shiro-Chi's chest, we're now ready to jump over to Morgoth. Now in order to do this, we need to return to the Wall of Wishes once again, but this time we need to enter this combination that we see here on screen. As before, make sure to not use any weapons with explosive rounds, ricochet rounds or timed payload, and once you've entered it correctly, it will teleport you to the Morgoth encounter. And once you arrive at Morgoth, we're going to be turning around and we're going to be jumping across this massive ravine. So where there was once a bridge is now a massive gap, and we're going to be crossing this whole thing. Now you can make it across as a Titan or a Warlock. If you're a Titan, use Middle Tree Thunder Crash with Lion Rampants and a sword, and with Catapult Lift equipped. With this combination, you'll be able to jet pretty much halfway across and then Titan Fly for the remaining section. If you're not too sure how to Titan Fly, you need to quickly double tap your jump button and then swipe your sword. And by double tapping, it's actually allowing you to cancel your jump, keeping that jump in reserve, giving you that momentum and that upward trajectory to keep you in the air. So you want to double tap and swipe, double tap and swipe. And this will be more than enough to get you over to the other side. Now, if you're a warlock, as you saw from the footage, that was also there by being top tree Dawnblade, you can use this in combination with Icarus Dash, and you can easily make it across too. And once you make it across, it's simply about navigating your way to the chest. Once again, if you're not too sure where the chest is, follow the route that I'm taking on screen. If you are a hunter though, you will need one of your Titan or Warlock friends to go back to the Shirochi encounter. Once they load in at that checkpoint, you can join them there, and that will load you right next to the chest, so you can collect the loot too. Now, as before, I'm going to let the remaining footage for the last Wish raid chest play out from here, and I'll see you again over in the Deepstone Crypt. Now here we are in a Deepstone Crypt. Here we're going to activate a glitch that allows us to remain sheltered from the storm. This means we won't get the frostbite debuff, which once it stacks up to 10 times will wipe us as a result of the cold. So in order to do this, you want to park your sparrow just outside the heat bubble, wait for frostbite to go, and then jump back onto your sparrow from inside the bubble. This will create a shelter of the storm buff on you, which stays on you throughout this entire section. Now you don't need to worry about any of the ads on any of the heat plates. In fact, you don't even need to go to any of the heat plates from here on out. Simply follow the route that I'm taking here on screen, and this will take you to the first chest inside the Deepstone Crypt. So that was the first chest of the Deepstone Crypt. From here, we're going to be going out of bounds in order to get our hands on the second chest inside this raid. And the out of bounds section can be completed on each and every class. So if you haven't done it before or aren't too sure of the route, then as before, be sure to follow the route that I'm taking, and this will take you directly to the chest. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, all the loot that you get from these chests inside the Deepstone Crypt is dependent on the encounters that you've already completed. If you haven't done any encounters, then these chests will only offer Spoils of Conquest, which will still allow you to buy other raid exotics from the new kiosk over in the tower. If you have completed encounters though, and have unlocked loot, then you have opportunities to get that loot again from either of these chests. So whether you want better rolled armor or better weapons, then these are still worth getting each and every week as free loot from the raid. So if you have 3 classes of Guardian, Titan, Hunter and a Warlock, and are able to run these 6 chests each and every week, there's 18 chests from the raids that you can get without completing any raid encounters whatsoever. As before, I'm going to let the footage of the route to the Deepstone Crypt chest play out from here on out. If you have enjoyed the video though, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you're brand new here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.